Welcome back to Chasing Balanced Wellness. I am Dr. Natasha Goodman. I know I've been away for a while, but this video is going to be updates and also talking a little bit about discipline. So I'll give a little bit of tips on what I've been doing to work on discipline, and that's what brought me back to my YouTube channel. So let's kind of talk about my absence first. Had a lot going on in the summer. Things were kind of getting into a good space. My business was growing. I'm still in the growing phase. And, I had an assistant and, I was getting things done that were on my list. Cool. But one thing that was really, really bothering me was my inconsistency and, lack of discipline when it came to wellness and in regards to what I was eating or exercising. My fitness wasn't, and my, physical wellness wasn't where I wanted it to be. So even though these things were going well, this was still a major concern for me. I turned 35 this year, so I feel like when I turned 30, things changed with my body. I started getting allergies out of nowhere. So 35 was a wake-up call for me. Literally, in July, I injured my foot and realized it was, I think they diagnosed it with tendinitis or, whatever. Injured my foot, which it's still not 100%, but it's a lot better. I was in a boot. So I could not even work out. I couldn't even walk, go for walks in the park that I was enjoying. So, I was so excited to get on this consistency, and I did something in May where I worked out every day. And that probably brought on the foot issue because I was wearing the wrong shoes. So I'll get to that. So yes, I got consistent in May in my workouts, but I didn't do it right. I pushed my body a little too hard. I did not have the right shoes for, my feet. And I just wasn't listening to my body. I was really just trying to get on the discipline. I'll just do all of these workouts throughout the month. I'll work out every day, even if it's only 15 minutes, but I wasn't listening to my body. So I can't stress that enough. Listen to your body, and you will know what your body needs. So even though I knew I was going a little too hard, I did it anyway because I was so excited to just get back into that space of being consistent, working out in it, not being a task. So fast forward to July, I realized I have tendinitis or, some type of foot issue. I get put in the boot. Nothing slows you down more than being in a boot. So it's home more, could not work out even though I wanted to. So that really just crushed me. It's like, I put in all this work and now after my foot heals, I'm literally starting all over. So yes, so that happened. And so my foot heals, it took about, I would say 4 to 5 weeks where I didn't work out, kept it, slow and easy. So the week that I decided to, yay, let's get back into workouts, I still wasn't listening to my body, and I was so eager to work out, I went back to my HIIT workouts and injured my shoulder. Literally the week that I decided to get back into working out. Ended up in urgent care because of the pain. So I found out, I may have been dehydrated, and then my body just probably wasn't ready for that type of workout, which I knew already. Uh, but so yes, so I'm down again. You know, I have a sling. I have to ice my shoulder. And so that actually healed a lot faster. I probably was down for a week or so. So when that healed, I scheduled to see a chiropractor because I'm like, you know what? Let me just get a fresh start. So I scheduled the chiropractor. He was amazing. I got adjusted. He said that I adjusted rather quickly, so he was surprised, and everything was great. So then I felt like I got a fresh start. So then I would say that was, I guess I started fresh September. So all of September I've just been walking mainly. The first 2 to 3 weeks it was really just walking consistently. I probably walked 3 to 4 times a week. And now I'm trying to walk or do some type of activity every day. But walking is my main source of exercise because that's what is best for my body as I'm getting into workouts. And I'll just wait and see when I'm ready for a change. I also still have to see I want to say it's the podiatrist. I have a referral from when I got tendonitis. So I still have not seen them, but I will go and see them before I move into, I used to jog. So that is still a goal of mine to get back into that, even though it's not the best on your body. I do want to go see the podiatrist or the physical therapist, whoever, and just make sure that that's still a goal I can work up to, and that is best. And making sure I have a plan and I'm not just winging it like I was before and injured myself. So that's the plan. So I really was able to slow down a little bit. Like before in May, June, I was trying to be consistent in a lot of areas in my life. And it just became overwhelming. So a lot of times what I do when I do feel overwhelmed, you gotta slow it down. So that's the first step. If you feel like you're overwhelmed with what you're trying to work on, you're trying to be disciplined in eating and working out and being disciplined in creating content, or all of these other areas, take one step at a time. For me, my fitness was number one. So that was number one on my list. So once I got the fitness down, I started to work on eating. So right now I'm in a good space of eating more fruits and vegetables and doing smoothies more, intermittent fasting, which I thought the 18-6 would be like impossible. But it really, after a week, I can fast for 18 hours like it's nothing, like no big deal. During the first week, I would say keep yourself busy between the time you wake up and the time your fasting is supposed to end. So I typically am starting my day around 9. So around noon was my typical eating time. So between 12 and 3, that first week, I had to keep myself busy. So that's when I would typically do my workout. I'll probably do my workout around 1:30, 2 o'clock, right before eating. So then I'm still getting in some fasted cardio. But I would run errands or do, whatever, anything to keep my mind off of, okay, it's time to eat, you're hungry. And that really helped me get over that hump. But after a week, like it's a breeze. And so the intermittent fasting has been literally a lifesaver for me because my body is like slowing down. I'm drinking tea, which I have tea with me. I drink a lot more tea these days as well. Oh, and my cute mug, I will link it in the description below. I created the design, so gotta love it. But yeah, so I drink more tea. So right now I'm in a good space. Physical wellness. I'm eating better. So that check off the list. So once you get that, your first goal down, and you're in a consistent place, you can move on to the next consistent thing that you wanted to work on. For me, that was my business. So originally I had an assistant in like June and July. She ended up quitting abruptly. So that threw me off with like content and posting on social media, which that was important for my business to grow. That is part of my marketing, is being out there and, providing content, providing things that, information that's helpful and entertaining. So that slowed down while I was working on my physical wellness and that consistency. Right now, after I've been able to work on those two things, I have a new assistant and I'm back on track with content, and that brings me back to my YouTube page, because now that I have a new assistant, she's working on certain content, and we're working on certain content, and I have a little bit more time to put into other areas. So that brings me back to my YouTube channel. And I will be working on consistency here, and that will be every Wednesday posting. So if I can get this down over the next 2 months, I have a plan of action. I have a plan this time, and I'm gonna follow the plan. I know before I had a plan, but I was literally still just winging it, doing one video a week, or like trying to do one video per week. I need to batch it. That's just what it is. It definitely what it has come down to. So that's the plan. And so for me, that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3. The third thing that I wanted to work on, being consistent with reading. Yes. So in previous videos, I did tell you guys about my video challenge that I joined. Well, it just random saw it on social media. I was like, hey, I want to do that this year. No, it has not been going as planned. I did not read one book a month. And it's not even that hard to do. I'm just not consistent with reading every day. Like a good goal of mine was reading 1 chapter a day, or reading 10 pages a day. That's easy. And I have more than enough time to get that in. So I do want to work on that, because I have so many books that I want to read and that I want to get to, but I feel like I don't want to put one book down unfinished and move on to something else. It's just something about that really bothers me. So I'm gonna finish whatever book I'm on now. I'm finishing that book this week, and I'm gonna move on, and I'm just gonna try to be consistent. That is not the focus right now. My focus is YouTube, but that's in the back of my mind, that is also a goal that I feel like would help me in my self-care area. That is something that I still want to incorporate on a daily basis. Maybe reading and having tea outside or something. So yeah, I'm working on that. So in regards to tips, discipline, if you have a lot, break it down. Start with one goal, get into a consistent space with that, and then add the second goal. Get into a consistent space with that. Take your time. There's no rush. If you have to go back, like me, I'm adding YouTube. If for some reason something is going off, I will try to create a plan where I batch enough videos to where I can then go back and focus on my first goal without letting go of what I've built up in regards to momentum on the second goal. So you can always go back and shift your focus, but once you're in the second goal, you can try to create a plan of action or batch content so that you don't completely drop off. That is my goal, because I've dropped off a few times and I didn't create a plan between that time. So here I am. But yeah, so working on discipline, it's definitely, it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, although I know it would be amazing if it did, but it doesn't. So keep working at it. If there's something you're striving for, maybe getting a coach of some sort, depending on what the goal is. Even if it's business, get a business coach, a fitness, like get a trainer. Like if you really need that guidance and that accountability is also a big thing. So if you're working on a goal, you may not need a trainer or a coach, but get an accountability partner. Someone that you can say, hey, I have this goal of doing this, and you guys both have similar goals. You guys can be accountable with each other. Say, hey, did you do this week? Have you been working out? Are you going on your walks? Are you creating your content? Are you posting on YouTube? So it can become like a partnership thing, and it's more fun that way. I do have consultation groups, so they do help me accountable when I set a goal in my business, or I set a goal in other areas. Even self-care, it's like, hey, are you, and I check in too. I'm like, hey, are you guys working on your self-care? What are you guys doing for yourselves? Because we give so much to the world and friends and family that sometimes in those consultation meetings, we have to check in on each other and say, hey, what are you doing for you? So yeah, accountability partners are also a great tip when you're working on discipline. And I know I was all over the place with the steps and tips, but I will be more concise in the description. Just work with me. I'm just getting back to this. And yeah. So that is my update that I'm back and what I've been dealing with over the last few months, but all is well, and I'm excited to, be more consistent here. This is where I'm at, and I'm ready. So, like, share, subscribe. You won't regret it, and yeah, can't wait to share more in the future, which is next